Remember that. Maybe need a bottle opener.
Yeah, we need to be more prepared.
I didn't realize what this was. I thought it was going to be like a cork because I took the rubber thing off and that rubber thing still won't come off.
I feel like we need a special bottle opener
Yeah, we need a
specifically
bottle
for. You know what? I have an extra bottle opener.
Let's say if we want to get fancy, I've got like a bottle opener / wine corker from when I went to Italy.
Which actually, I don't know what happened to it because I had it in a drawer and I just cleaned that drawer out and it wasn't in there, so I don't know where the fuck it is now. But it was shaped like a baby bottle.
Aw, that's awesome. Well, today on misBEERhavior, we might only drink 2 beers. Nah, just kidding.
We'll just break the top off, pick the glass out, and do it like men.
Right, we're gonna
Men who swallow glass and poop it out of our ass.
All right.
It was from a baby shower, that's why it was shaped like a baby bottle.
That's funny.
I always like those pictures you see on the internet of like dad, grandpa, and like baby, and it's like dad's bottle, grandpa's bottle, baby's bottle, and it's like, you know, milk, beer, whiskey.
That's funny. This is it's got it's got the
brown.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a reddish brown. It's a real dark brown. It creates a nice head. There's a nice head.
Wait,
Good head. Oh yeah, gotta do the
Get a pour shot in.
pour shots.
No, just on the table. Do it on the table.
Oh, okay. It's a little low. Yeah, that's weird. Mushu. I don't even know.
What did we rate that last beer, kids?
Oh, I'll give it a 4.
I think I would give it a 4 also.
Yeah.
I like it. Why does it get so much head when you get to the last pour? It's heading inside the
You
thing.
gave Ron the most head.
I did.
I got hit.
Go.
It's heading the most in the bottle.
It's because it had a chance to get stirred up as it got out of there.
There, I need some head. She don't need a lot of head.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
No worry.
Sad
We'll
head.
find some way for you to get lots
Sad
of head.
head. She's gonna have sad head.
I'm gonna start crying.
Depressed height.
Fucking
All right.
Depressed head. Why?
that seasonal depression is pretty kicking this year.
Alrighty. So I was gonna.
Oh.
But anyway, so I like this bottle. It's a really nice bottle. It's okay. So I'm pretty sure that
That
they.
was not wax
I
cap.
smell the bourbon, I smell the chocolate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like breweries just, they have their like major releases all by the end of the year and all that. Because when I went to get beer the last time, there was a bottle of everything that was like some of them had waxed over the top. Some of them, they just were like amazing bottles. But this one is crafted, did I already read that? No. Crafted from the discipline and love for Mashushu, this liquid has been carefully blended from a variety of dark ale vintages, aged in bourbon, rye, and brandy barrels. So that was like the mixed barrel. I didn't really read it beyond that, actually, or maybe I did and I just forgot. But it says the result is a truly authentic and chimerical, so you would read part of that? Chimerical. Okay.
Chimera, like
Concoction.
a combination.
Gotcha. Concoction that awakens from oaken meditation, packing notes, rich chocolate, toasted vanilla, and blackberry, a rare and majestic beast indeed. It was aged 12 to 24 months. And this is brewed and bottled by Rhinegeist Brewery in Cincinnati. So when I looked them up, just to give a little history about them, they are in the oldest, I forget what they called, the area, but basically just like one of the oldest little areas of Cincinnati.
Historical district.
Yeah, pretty much. It's that's where they originated and because they were brewing, and obviously named for the over the Rhine, because that's Rhinegeist. It's where they're created.
Of course, Geist German for ghost. Ooh,
And there was something for that. It was just. I'm actually gonna look at that because I had that on my phone.
So this,
It smells really fucking good.
I can taste the chocolate, and then aftertaste is the blackberry. When you lick it off of your lips, you can taste the blackberry.
So for me, when she was reading off the stuff, the different types of barrels it was aged in, I was sitting there. So when I took my first taste of it, and she said rye, and immediately I was like, ooh, rye whiskey. I'm getting that rye whiskey.
I could the bourbon and the rye. You definitely, I can
Yeah.
smell that rye.
I'm just sitting there going, man, this is fucking delicious.
It's really
dark,
smooth.
It's thick. It's smooth. I mostly taste the chocolate, but then like you get the aftertaste of the blackberry.
Yeah.
I get the chocolate majorly. I don't even like you smell the bourbon and the rye, but I don't taste it at all.
That this is like the first thing from Rhinegeist I've genuinely like actually liked.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've had a couple, like maybe one thing where we all three liked it, but I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head.
I like their sours, stuff like that.
I want to say it was like Glow, maybe.
So I think Rhinegeist Truth has ruined me and
that was the first
and,
Rhinegeist beer I ever had.
That was disgusting.
Right. I did not like it.
It's like,
And I was told that I was told to try it. I was told that I would like it. It was by a coworker.
We've
I didn't like it.
had Bubbles, Flamingo, Glow, Raspy Cat, and Wowie.
Those all sound like they're fruity.
I think maybe it was Wowie. I can't remember. I know there was one that we liked.
this
at least.
was...
But most of the time, it's like it's not as you're expecting more out of it is what I feel like
Right.
whenever we have.
Okay, so they got a New Riff Distilling on here. So, New Riff, not this year's...
I also don't want to get a new camera.
Well,
A better camera because it would cost like $1,000 versus that little.
Unless we start making money and then
like
Right, put that in
like
there.
a real pretty ass one.
That's right.
Anyway, like I was saying, is so New Riff. The bourbon that has been going in the Dark Charge barrels, the Dark Charge Day stuff, a lot of that was New Riff. That was, so when we had the Dark Charge Day and I went up and did the shots, there was a New Riff shot in that.
New Riff, okay.
So it's, New Riff must be selling their barrels to a couple of the craft distillers.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, New Riff Distilling, their, whiskey distillery out of Kentucky, so. It's like a dry but sweet flavor. Yeah.
A little bit. It's not even too dry, really.
it's got like that slightly like dark chocolate bitter taste that dark chocolate has that like as an aftertaste too, like with the blackberry.
Yeah. That's why I'm getting like just dry sweet for me.
It's really good.
It's a lot different than I thought it would be, but it's like super good. I haven't had a good bourbon barrel in a long time. Like, I mean, I've probably had like a good bourbon barrel, but I haven't had something that was super bourbon barrel-y. I feel like the best bourbon barrels I've ever had are like Warp Wings bourbon barrels. Almost always, like, are super delicious.
Over the weekend, I cracked open, I was going to do it for the podcast, but since we've already had it, I cracked open my Dark Charge Maple one and drank the shit out of that Saturday. That was good drinking.
Well, I can't find what I can't
You what?
find. She said that would be good. I can't find what I read the last time about the area, like the name Rhinegeist. But this says their journey started in 2005. Bob Bonder and Bryant Goulding, consultants together in San Francisco, are working together to feverishly deliver projects that will likely never come to fruition. Both are driven by an appetite to make lasting positive impact and more satisfying way into the world. Bob is writing a business for a chain of coffee. This doesn't have anything to do with
Just a general, like, what those guys are doing or what?
right. Maybe it is because it says our story. I can't remember what I
It's
read.
a long story. There's like
It is a long
scroll
story.
after scroll after scroll.
I don't want to read. I want to know where the Geist comes from in Rhinegeist. I forget why it was. It was fairly interesting, but I probably kind of in my head was like, oh yeah, Rhine, over the Rhine, because that's what I kind of thought. I was like, it's probably over the Rhine, and then to hear that it is, but I think it's really funny because that was probably a better area at one time, and now it's just like super bad ghetto. But I like that area though. Like
It's one of those areas that was, in probably like the 19-teens, 20s, because I was going to say in the 20s, but shit, we're in the 20s now.
right.
100 years ago was when they were building all that stuff, up and coming, real popular urban type area, real popular move
It's
too.
over there now.
And then it slowly but surely turned into like ghetto trash, and now it's becoming like sort of gentrified, getting upscale again kind of stuff. Last time I was down in that area was last summer when I was filming shit for that cowboy movie thing. And I did not realize I was so close to Rhinegeist that there is a shop that sells, one of those electric motorcycles I was looking at.
Yes.
was like an electric crotch rocket with crazy specs that I looked at and was really interested in buying until I discovered I had a terrible credit score.
Jesus.
And then I decided I'm not going to go take out that bad of a loan for it.
That's so funny.
But someday, when my credit score is less shit, who knows?
This is so dark. It literally almost looks black, but it's like I feel like there's sediment in it because to look at it,
It's hard to see the ring light through it. That's for sure.
I can't see it through mine.
to look at this, I have my glass tilted and I'm looking on the glass, and it's like the center is super dark, but then when you get to the edges where it's like it's thinned out, it's almost as if there's like little particles,
It's like almost.
and you're seeing just like a liquid residue around it that's like a thinner residue.
It's almost like Coca-Cola dark, maybe.
It like clings to the glass.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It does.
It's
Like syrupy a little, like slightly.
But it's like you don't see the color that clings to the glass. It's
No,
the
you
clearness that clings to the glass.
Yeah.
Which is super weird. It's like it's almost, I'm not gonna say layered, but that's like the best thing I can think of. I don't know. It's thicker in the middle than it is through the edges.
So one of our big fans this week told us after listening to our first episode, we talked about too much sexual dirty stuff. So,
Vagina!
thank you. So balls, titties, vagina, asshole, splooge cum, fucking pearl necklaces all over my face.
I'm sorry, but when people like say shit like that, it just makes me want to rebel because it's just who I am as a person. I'm sorry, I can't.
It's
Maybe
so
it's
funny to be
immature.
immature.
You know who you are. We love you.
Maybe it's immature.
You dirty cock. You dirty cock.
Vagina.
I'm totally a big fan of him. I was actually going to mention his beer group and everything else. It's like he probably doesn't want them tied together, so we're just going to wait till another episode.
Oh, I bet he would get all up on this. He'd be all like, "Yeah, man, fuck these guys." He fucking talked to me this morning. On the way to work, he blew out a fucking tire on the interstate. Was having a shit day.
And he posted his own podcast. I meant to listen to that on the way here, but I forgot to listen to that.
Fuck it,
But
Zach.
I'm really interested in this, hearing his podcast, because I didn't know it was that easy to just talk, speak, and upload a podcast, like boom, like that. Like
You don't need all this shit. You just need like your fucking phone mic.
Yeah, I had no fucking idea. Like that's pretty awesome. I could just do my random little podcasts, and I would, because I sometimes have weird ass thoughts.
Same.
It's like if I just recorded everything that my random thoughts. Like there was one day.
I do it all the time. That's on my Snapchat.
I made a note. So this was one of my weird random thoughts. So do you ever wonder about your role in total strangers' conversations? Like you're just, because I did something really weird one day while I was at work. I can't remember what I did. And then I was like, I wonder what they're going to tell other people about me. Like it's like,
yes, I have wondered that.
so it's like, you know, do they make incidents sound boring as hell, or do they exaggerate and, you know, make you sound way funnier? Like, oh man, there was this like crazy ass bitch, she was like doing this, and I was like, I really wasn't too crazy, because that's normal to me, but to them it was like outrageous. Or is it like, man, I just like saw this stupid ass chick the other day and she was doing this, how fucking lame, you know? Like
probably depends.
Right, depends on the person, but it's like, you know, when I go out, I just want to watch the people. Like, I want to do something really crazy or just be just obnoxious and then just sit back and watch after the fact. I want to watch the aftermath of everybody. Like, are they talking about me? I want to, you know, like when they go to talk to somebody else about it, like, I want to create, oh, that chick is probably this type of person that's going to say it like this. And that person, he's probably going to be like, man, I wish I fucking knew her. You know, like, sometimes I'm like that. I wish I knew them.
So for like me, I've had those thoughts before. When I've talked to people,
so good.
When I talk to people, I know I can tell. If I just talk about like the normal shit I do, they just look at me, and I can tell sometimes getting that look like, man, you're full of fucking shit. You were just talking out your ass. There's no way you did all that shit. And it's like, dude, I totally did. No, you totally talking out your ass. And I can read that on people sometimes, and it's like, whatever, man. You're just sad that you're not able to keep up with me. That's cool. It sucks for you.
Yeah, some people just they think that, oh, nothing that weird happens to somebody. They're making up a bullshit story. It's like sometimes weird things always happen to me.
I don't know. I think we all have like a unique perspective of how something happens to us and
Maybe
how we
that's what
see
it
it.
is.
And it's just how you spin the story, basically.
Larry has weird shit like that happening to him too. I forget exactly what happened here recently. And somebody said that, that's so like our buddy Finney and his girlfriend. So his girlfriend was like, hey, I haven't seen Larry in a while. Why don't you invite him over? I haven't heard any Larry stories in a while. And it's like the only type of person that stuff happens to is him. Like, and he does have weird things happen to him, but that's the norm for me. It's just like apparently that weird things don't happen like that to everybody.
I'm giving this a 5.
I'd totally give this a 5 too.
Definitely.
I want to talk about it more. I want to describe it more. It's got like a thicker feel to it.
The problem I have with trying to
It's
talk
got a
about
great mouth feel. I love the way it feels in my mouth.
the problem I have with talking about more of it is that I drank all that I had.
Soundbite right there.
Yeah, mouth feel.
I love the way it feels in the mouth.
Feels like velvet going down my throat.
I love deep throatness beer.
Yeah. I'm actually really sad that I didn't have more of it too, because we usually have pre-beers. Ariana was the only one that had a pre-beer today, and I typically have one. Last week, my pre-beer gave me a buzz because I hadn't had anything to eat. And so like this, like the first the first beer we had was at 8%, and this one is at 11.4, and it's actually a pretty big, so the bottle is, I don't know how many ounces it's much more than a 16-ounce can.
I say it looks like a 16-ouncer to me.
I feel like, it says 500 milliliters. I don't know how much 500 milliliters is. 33. It's got a 33 on the side of the bottle.
Do I need to Google
Is it I don't think it's a pint. I'm
sorry, we're from
Maybe it
America.
is. Yeah. I was gonna say that's 16, so if it was 16, well, that would be 2 pints. It's not 2 pints.
16.907.
Okay, so I was gonna say, yeah, I thought it was gonna be
16, and that's pretty.
It's one of those. I thought it was either gonna be 20 or there's like a weird 25-ounce type bottle. I don't know what that is.
Dude, I feel like I am rotting the fuck out of these pants because my ass crack is definitely hanging out.
Rotting? I thought you said rotting. I'm rotting these pants.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, damn,
and
girl.
then when she said
Wait. When you say rotting out these pants, you're just going, my vagina.
Ron's vagina.
When she said, and then I realized it was Ronnie, because Ron usually has about anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of ass crack showing at any given time.
Ronalding the fuck out.
So I should have been a plumber. That's all it is to it.
I think
I'm
getting him a belt for his birthday. So you're getting a belt for your birthday.
I asked my nephew the other day. I was like, "Are you practicing to be a plumber?" Because he was like sitting there.
Did he understand, or have you said it from them?
I don't even know if he knew I was talking to.
That's so funny. He was just like,
so like I'm like, it would be the worst thing ever for that kid's ego, but I'm like, drop a pencil down his butt crack.
Oh, don't molest the child, Jesus, dude. You gotta wait till he's an adult or at least
until he's like a teenager or something.
Right.
Okay.
At that, when he's a teenager, don't drop a pencil down his butt crack, but just throw something from across the room, try to shoot hoops into his butt crack. That's more acceptable.
It worked for a while. People were like, if you would bend over and your ass crack was hanging out, people would like dump screws down your pants, and you're like sitting there like, oh my god, like they're like stuck in the crack of your ass, and you're like doing this, like trying to jiggle out, and they're like coming out your pant leg, and like.
So what you're saying is you went to work and got screwed in the ass.
Got screwed in the ass.
I would totally 100% take them out. Like I would dig them out because
I had to for some of them because they were just like sitting there.
Anytime you're working in a factory, it's sweaty, it's hot, and you reach your hand down like if somebody like immediately did that, I would immediately
just throw it at them.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they're still in the area to where you can get them, I would just like touch them with my sweaty ass hand. And then
stink palm that shit.
Right, exactly.
Like fucking mall rats or whatever, where the dude was like, just take your hand, just shove it right up there, dig right around between your cheeks, get it real nice, and just be like, hi, here you go, oh yeah, just rub it all over their face.
I would definitely 100%, well I wouldn't rub on their face, because I don't like touching people in ways like that, but I would definitely the screws would come out of my pants, and I would throw them at them, and then I would just rub my sweaty butt cheek sweat down their arm, and they would probably never do that to me again.
Probably.
That's just
or you're gonna get a date that night. Whichever happens first.
I feel like I'm really good at when somebody tries to do something bad to me, I immediately counter it. Like I have a really good counterattack.
Yes, you're very witty.
So my counterattack is literally like nobody will ever fuck with me again. And so I had a friend which friend was it? Okay, so it was Troy and Mike, they're brothers growing up. And Troy was saying how his brother
My
might.
only brothers growing up.
Oh yeah,
They stopped being
they
brothers.
say fuck you, we're done being brothers. Bloop, you know.
One of them became trans, now they're brother and sister. It's
No.
okay. Or they both became trans, now
So
they're both sisters.
Yes, there you go. But no, so
We're
they.
fine with that.
It's 2023, it's okay.
We're okay with
So the one of them, you know, whenever he had his girlfriend over, I think I told this story in the other, you know, the butt plug, but we're gonna tell again. So when he would have his girlfriend over, and the brother knew, so he would just knock on the door, knock on his bedroom door until Troy had no choice but to get up and answer the door. I said, dude, answer that door one time, naked as hell with a heart on, you would never do that again. That's what I would do. I'm like, why don't people think of these things? Like, you know somebody's doing something, you're gonna be a jerk, how do you get them to stop? You're gonna be twice the jerk. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's like, I don't need you fucking in my house anymore, stop it.
It's
Comes the
either
door
that-
naked, sup?
Or it doesn't bother me.
Right.
Like,
It's like, hey, that's a great tempo. Could you do this? It's like great keeping up with the beat. You know, and just like talking to him while I was out there, making it really awkward. You got to make it more awkward for them than they do for you. That's like the
Or
best.
suddenly it becomes a thing of, well, now I need somebody knocking on the door trying to make it awkward for me to get off. Sorry, sweetie, I need someone to
you
randomly
answer
talk
the
to.
door like this.
So you guys need to come to my house later this week.
I feel like it would be something that would be funny. Like, you know, another thing he could have said was like, just out of knowing that that's what his brother was going to do, he should have kept the door unlocked. So that way he could be really awkward and say, yeah, come in. And then when he's like, oh, they might not be having sex. And then he would walk in and then realize, oh, Jesus. And then he would shut the, like, you know, it's just ways to create super awkwardness to where they're like, I'm never going to do that again. I just did that to myself. Like, that's always fun. Like, I don't
He is
know.
an evil genius in case you haven't realized it yet.
I love it. It's a lot of fun.
I like getting memes from random people when I'm just sitting here
Oh,
doing
yeah?
shit. Yeah, because the memes just come to me now.
That's awesome. You got your own meme lords?
I have some.
Ron is the meme lord.
There you go.
And people are his minions.
Yeah, I post way too many memes, and sometimes I'm like, man, I post too much of that shit. Then when I run into people from my Facebook in real life, like, dude, I love your memes. They're so awesome. Don't quit. And I'm like, really? I'm just like bored shit
I feel
posting.
like I want to get that kind of a crowd. So I have like the motivational, I love your posts, this and this and this. Like I had some random ass dude, I don't even know where I got him from, but he's like, I go to your page intentionally to see your posts every day. And I'm like, I like seeing that. I like knowing the fact that like I'm inspiring people and helping people and motivating people. But I really want the funny side. I want the funny people with like all the humorous.
That one day when you posted like you had your shirt on backwards or whatever, and like I was reading the comments and like girls are like, "Good morning, Missy. Have a great day." And I'm like, one time I put my bra on backwards.
It's just sad that I can do that. Okay, bye. I love the okay, bye. I laughed so hard out loud reading that. It was just the best. I was like, this.
I was like, I knew this was gonna make her laugh.
And it made my day. I was like, I laughed so hard. I was really upset that nobody else like followed through with the thread, and then like not a lot of other people read that comment. Like maybe I should just go back and screenshot that and use that as a post someday. Just like, hey, just in case you were wondering, this is a thing that can really happen. Okay.
It's true.
I might do that. I'm gonna post it on my personal page, and I'm also gonna post it on the misBEERhavior page.
It was a sports bra, so I mean, like maybe that's kind of.
I kind of wondered if it was because I was like, there's no way she could just put an actual like bra on backwards, but a sports bra, they're flat on both sides, so you can definitely.
But one
do that.
side's like a little smaller than the other side, and it was pretty much almost
Probably
the
not a
same.
lot
And I'm
smaller.
like, this is bullshit.
I was like, I thought it was probably a sports bra. Like I was like, yeah, it's probably a sports bra, but still, this is hilarious.
My response is, in terms of things I like is when I get put in Facebook jail for like a week or 2 weeks, and in that entire 2 week period, I'm still getting random likes and comments on the amount of shit I shitpost.
I hate Facebook jail, and I get put in there for a month at a time anymore, so I have to steer clear of Facebook jail.
Every time I'm like, ooh, I gotta find this meme, and I know it was Ron that shared it, and it was like 2 days ago, so it's gonna take me forever to
get
scroll
it.
to get to this meme because he posts shit all day
That's
long.
so funny.
And if you want to follow me, well, that's pretty rough because you're going to have to prove to me you're a real person because I keep all my shit private.
Nah, all they gotta do is be like, dude, we got you from misBEERhavior.
Yeah, but you have to send me a message first and prove to me you're not a bot or some kind of fucking like bullshit scam because because if you have no posts and your profile was created that day or within that week and you're an extremely hot girl for no apparent reason liking me.
For no apparent reason.
Right.
You're an extremely hot girl for no apparent reason.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, look at me. I'm a fat bald piece of crap. Let's be honest.
I get super hot girls liking me, and I'm just like, yeah, this is spam because, and then it's like they ask your name. It's kind of like, it's in the profile, stupid.
You know what my favorite thing is? Could you send me a friend request? I'm like, why don't you just send me a friend request?
Right. I don't, because if they send too many, they get flagged and then they can't send them, or just like their account gets less views. And
the one I got the other day that I absolutely loved was one of the people on my Facebook had their shit hacked. And they were all, hey man, my shit's been hacked. I need a phone number for a reset code. What's your phone number so I can get that? You can give me that code. I was like, it doesn't work that way, bro. Yeah, it does. It totally works. I'm like, if it's such a big deal, why don't you go get your daughter? Oh, what's my daughter's name again, man? I'm like,
yeah.
Well, your daughter, the one that, your profile pic is like your profile pics with your daughter, but cool story, buddy. It doesn't work that way. And then I like reported them and blocked them, and I was just like, yeah, come on, spammers, fuck off.
They bother me. They're fun to troll sometimes, but they just also act really stupid. I don't know. They think we're stupid. I feel like people like spammers and scammers are a lot of times from other countries and they think we're stupid. But at the same time, I think it's really easy to think that we're stupid because there was like a TikTok where somebody from Europe, England, they were saying how they didn't get American sarcasm because we all say and believe such stupid things that it's hard to tell.
I saw that
share
too.
that in the message.
I saw that in the group chat. Might have been Francis.
Hell, I was gonna say maybe it was Francis that shared it. Because it's like, okay, I can see where they think we're all fucking blubbering idiots. Like, yeah, okay, makes sense.
Well, I don't know, like talking about like fucking with bots and things, I'm getting paranoid as fuck now because I keep reading about different AI things. And fucking with bots is immediately my brain giving too much information. I've been playing at work with this thing called ChatGPT.
I would never do one of those.
I've been playing with it just for the sake of doing it because one of the guys at work was like, oh, it's really good at writing codes and scripts. I was like, all right, I wrote some scripts and codes to do my own shit. And I'm like, got on the thing. I'm like, hey, could you write me a script to do X, Y, Z? And it wrote me a script to do X, Y, Z that was almost identical to what I did, but slightly more optimized.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say that makes sense. I thought you were like saying that you were messing with one of those like AI chatbots that can be your new best friend.
No. Like this is the same AI chatbot that has the ability to write like high school level like freaking papers. One of the examples on their website was they asked the bot, basically, what would it be like if Christopher Columbus landed in America in 2023? And it wrote this 5-paragraph paper that could have been easily written by a high school student, and it covered all the bases like he would be weirded out by all of our modern stuff, but impressed. He would be upset that nobody thinks of him as a hero because of all the genocidal shit because of the Indians and just all this other stuff. And it was very clear. It was written by the AI on the fly, but it looked like it could have been written by a fucking high school student. I'm going, holy shit, these poor fucking bastard teachers are going to have to start figuring this crap out too.
I feel like I saw something also about that, where...
She's been a good low camera, though. She's lived a long time.
I don't know what she does. It feels a little warm, so I don't know if...
For those that are just joining us, Ariana's going to take a pee. Let's listen carefully to her peeing.
ASMR style.
It sounds like fried chicken. The bot thing, though, one of the other things I read about in the last week, Microsoft has released the creepiest goddamn thing, or they haven't released it, they demoed it.
What's that?
A AI that can, with 3 seconds of your fucking voice, accurately mimic you in a text-to-speech form.
Oof.
So basically, like, I saw the video of it, basically it's Missy, fuck you, bitch. With that 4 seconds of that,
It will be able to do
it can accurately emulate me, and I could just, type it all out. And I was thinking, oh my god, so like, grandma who's already having problems, like, with this game of, hey, this is Billy. You don't sound like Billy, this is Billy.
Jesus.
Like
yeah.
Microsoft, when they put out tech like that, usually release like a tech demo for people to play with.
I think they just need to stop.
They purposely did not do that. Amazon Alexa, I've seen things from Amazon where they can do that with an Alexa and it can read your kid's stories in your voice. So it's just like, Jesus,
So basically you could take a voice recording, like a voicemail from somebody, play it to that, and then have it do everything you want it to, and if that person died, then you can still have conversations with that person, even though they're
like
dead.
some of the like benefits that
That's
were
a
being,
little fucked up.
some of the benefits.
It's interesting, but it's just like they just need to stop.
Well, like some of the
This
benefits.
goes off grid.
Some of the benefits they were pimping
Yeah.
was like if you're driving and you get like the text to speech thing pop up on your card and be like, "It's Missy." I hit the button and instead of going, "Hey, this is Siri sounding. This is Siri." Now it's in Missy's voice. Some of the other benefits were like, you got kids and audiobooks, shit like that.
You're just a bad parent, but yet you want them to hear you read to them while you get drunk as fuck.
Another option was like,
That's a good idea.
like a legitimate other option which sounded, plausible is so like the translate thing, so Google Translate type shit. So I'm sitting here having a conversation with somebody with the Translate app, and I go, blah, 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 suck my balls, and then it translates it to Japanese, Chinese, or whatever, and it does it in a robot voice, it does it in your voice.
So the one thing that I saw the other day.
Still creepy as shit.
They did an experiment, this guys. He took 2 phones, had them set up, so they're being set up brand new, never being hooked onto Wi-Fi. One was basically, it was put on, I feel like, so this one wasn't hooked on to the internet, or the Wi-Fi, because they said Wi-Fi, so I'm feeling that it wasn't hooked on to any internet. The other one wasn't hooked onto any internet, plus it had airplane mode. So this dude went about his day. He did everything, got into Ubers, got on like trains, got on this, did this, made special stops, did all these things. And then they hooked him up to a computer and they opened it up basically to see, they basically wanted to see like the transfer of information. So they looked and there were like thousands of location drops where it was like this dude did this, like they knew everything he did, everywhere he went. When a vehicle stopped, it was like, yeah, vehicle stopped here. Just every stop he had.
Well, like a legit response to that.
What?
What you were saying, actually.
Well, hold on. So anyway, so there were thousands of things recorded, and then like there was a couple. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the one that was in airplane mode, there was some things where less things were recorded, but there was some things where more things were like, I think it was, like there might have been less data transfer because there was less data to transfer, but at the same time there was more, like they basically, more location stops, like they
tried to make up for the missing cell tracking.
Yeah, basically because it was not online, so there was no ability. But it's still, for it to be in airplane mode, it was not fully in airplane mode. Basically.
Well, so GPS is a passive signal. Airplane mode basically shuts off transmitting from your phone. It doesn't shut off your phone recording data itself. So the GPS theoretically should still be working to some degree. A lot of those, a lot of those will like figure out your location based off of cell towers, but they can still monitor the actual GPS satellites.
Which is funny because I guarantee if I turn my airplane mode on my phone, I would not be able to use my GPS.